Typical European street, typical cafes. But today, people in Athens were trying to get their heads round something untypical, decisive action, and to the tune of €1 trillion. As they watched ECB boss Mario Draghi announce the massive economic stimulus, even the smallest shopkeepers knew it could make a big difference. First, from Frankfurt, an admission that faced with low growth and the danger of deflation, the Eurozone had done too little.
Today's monetary policy decision on additional asset purchases was taken to counter two unfavorable developments. First, inflation dynamics have continued to be weaker than expected. As a consequence, the prevailing degree of monetary accommodation was insufficient to adequately address heightened risks of too prolonged a period of low inflation.
The European Central Bank will print €1.1 trillion and use them to buy the debts issued by countries. It'll spend £60 billion a month until September next year, and if inflation has not risen to 2% by then, it can carry on. But when you buy debt, there's a risk, and only 20% of the risks will be pooled between countries. 80% will have to be bought and guaranteed by individual central banks. With prices falling in Europe's shops, for months the ECB had refused to use the D word, deflation. Today, Draghi recognised there was a risk that money shrinks, bank debts get bigger, and the economic pain gets worse. But this is no longer just about economics. Greece is facing an election where the far-left party Syriza could come to power. Europe's political centre needs this stimulus to restore faith in institutions being challenged both from the left and from the right. For now, Greece has been excluded from the stimulus. The one country that needs it most can't have the money until it signs a new austerity deal. At the HQ of the ruling Conservative Party, they're putting a brave face on it. What is your understanding of what the ECB is saying to you, the current government, about what happens if a government comes in that repudiates the Troika memorandum?
It is the scenario concerning Syriza, because if they don't conclude the review as soon as possible, they cannot take part at this huge opportunity, the QE. QE is a very huge opportunity, not only for the Eurozone area, but especially for Greece.
Europe's most successful left-wing party begs to differ. The polls say Syriza is 3 nights away from taking power here, and they will throw Mario Draghi's conditions back in his face with red flags flying. So the question is, John, will it work? And that's what everybody's asking here. I think it should do, because it's about double the size of what people expected, but there are other problems, and Draghi spelt them out today. There is, first of all, the problem of Europe's sclerosis. Its labour markets, he thinks, should be broken up Thatcher style, so there's a lot more freedom of movement and different kinds of jobs for young people. The other thing is, Draghi said, you've got to do more with fiscal policy. That means cutting taxes and increasing public spending. The Germans just don't want to do that. And on its own, printing €1 trillion can get you out of a lot of trouble. It doesn't get you where you need to be. And on the streets of Athens, they know that there are bigger issues just than even €1 trillion.